Isn't this the most mob wife shade? It's called Attraction by Chanel, by the way. Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel. For those of you who know me, welcome back. And for those of you who don't, I'm Pia and I'm your host for all things luxe. We've seen the mob wife aesthetic everywhere lately with the revival of The Sopranos, Griselda out on Netflix, and the Barracuda Queens, or maybe Lolo from the Barracuda Queens. There are different takes on the mob wife aesthetic going around, and I thought today we could do a little bit of a styling video where I show you how I built 4 outfits that I would style for myself and realistic pieces that I would actually wear, maybe not just for an Instagram reel. So without any further ado, let's get started. On this first outfit, I picked this little wool t-shirt that's a little bit see-through. You can see my Simone Perel beloved bra. This is one of my favorites, if not my favorite underwear brand. It's a very discreet type of look. We can see a little bit of the underwear in there, but not all of it is exposed. You really have to like go ahead and look, or the light needs to hit the outfit on a certain way for us to be able to see it. I'm actually wearing them, but as you'll be seeing on the cutout, I decided to marry that with this beautiful kind of anthracite or washed black denim from Arket. It's a pair of wide leg denim that I think complements the outfit and adds to the whole mystery dark vibe of the whole mob wife aesthetic look. I then added this belt by Chanel, yellow gold buckle, and it's all in a beautiful exotic leather that I think once again taps a lot into that more is more vibe. And even if I'm one to wear a little bit less accessories at the same time, I still think it's a look that I would still be able to pull off on an everyday basis. Now when it comes to earrings, I wanted to go ahead and do something along the kind of chunky vibe, very golden, very out there look. I thought this pair from Missima would be very appropriate, particularly because there's some tiger's eyes and onyx in there that complements the colors in the outfit very well. For booties, I decided to add this ones. They're a pair of leather suede booties, and I quite like the idea of that kind of vintage looking coma heel. I think that adds a little bit of texture. It adds a little bit of a different silhouette to an otherwise just normal heel jeans and a tee. The square toe at the front of the bootie also adds to that kind of vintage mob wife aesthetic that we're after today. And then la pièce de résistance on this whole look has to be this vintage coat. It's quite a comfortable everyday piece. It's got some pockets in there for some extra warmth. In terms of rings for that particular one, I decided to keep it a little bit softer. The Panther's ring in the Pavé diamonds and my grandma's ring in here. And that was it for look number 1. It was something very easy to put together, something that I think I could see myself wearing on an everyday basis, even if it's a look that I haven't done just yet. When it's really cold, it is the coat that does the outfit. I think that's going to be a particularly important choice when it comes to dressing mob wife style for really cold weather. Now, moving on to look number 2, I decided to style it around this jumpsuit I recently got at Sœur. For those of you who don't know, Sœur is a French brand and I'm quite literally obsessed with them. This is a 100% wool jumpsuit that's got a little bit of polyester in the lining and the interior. For this look, I wanted something that calls for that sort of urgency factor that a jumpsuit adds. Jumpsuits added to the female wear department was something that during World War, some homes used to keep jumpsuits next to their bed, and that's why they were called jumpsuits, so you could actually jump into your suit and then be ready to go if an alarm went off. A little bit of history in there. And that military green on there, I think calls for that type of, I don't want to call it dodgy, but she could be cooking something, if you know what I mean. In order to create a different neckline, something a little bit more in the sexy type of thing, I decided to open it up and then fold this once towards the interior. Just a lovely V-neck shape, changes up the silhouette of the piece a little bit more, and just gives it a little bit more versatility. To me, it looks like the other shape was a little bit too masculine and it needed a little bit of a more feminine touch to go in line with that mob wife silhouette. And at the end of the day, it's all in the details, isn't it? Now, when it came to accessorizing this piece, I used quite a couple of accessories. I went a little bit all out for my personal taste, but I still think it ended up looking quite cute. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Started off by adding this vintage necklace by Lanvin. It's got some beautiful links that, in my opinion, just scream mob wife. It just adds a little bit of that golden touch on the neckline, something like what you would see Griselda wearing, or one of them. This pair of Victoria Beckham sunnies were the perfect complement to the outfit, besides the color matching the shoe. It's got a little bit of gold in there. The top bar in there just adds that extra masculinity that we took off by creating that V-neck line. When it came to the earrings, I kept the same ones from Missoma, which I think were a great complement. Once again, we've got the onyx, the moonstone, and that big chunky style of hoop that just picks up from the necklace. And yeah, just an overall great piece to add in there. Regarding the rings, I kept the same ones as in the look before. However, for the bag, I changed it up. On the first look, I wore the ultimate bag that will marry all the styles. You're doing clean girl, you're doing mob wife, you're doing whatever you're doing. I think a Birkin is always a good idea. However, in order to switch it up a little bit, I decided to play with this hobo bag from Gucci. It's one of my favorite ones. It's got a little horse detail in here, which I'm very fond of. I think the brown suede in it married with the suede in the Hermes shoes, but it also picked up on that depth of color from the green jumpsuit. For the shoes, I wore this one's from Hermes, which you might have seen me pick up recently during the invite-only Hermes sale. If you haven't seen what I got on that video yet, I'll link it up here for you. To play with that warmth, I opted for something that would have a warmer suede style. I particularly love the heel on this one, and then because we had a lot of metal going on already on the rest of the outfit, I picked a shoe that would have a little bit of a more simplistic buckle, still a little bit of a darker brown, kind of marry very nicely and talk with the handbag of choice for this look. Now moving on to outfit number 3. Mob wife goes to the south of France. Once again, I started off with the beautiful vintage yellow gold Lanvin necklace to add that extra light. And then I first made a unicolor ensemble with a silk cami top, which I then married to these wool trousers from Massimo Dutti. Now on camera, it's looking like they're very two different shades of white, but in person, they both look pretty much like a normal ecru shade. The tailoring on the trousers married with the flowy part of the top make for a beautiful contrast. To design the silhouette a little bit more, I opted for this reversible belt by Hermes, Rosetta style of buckle, which once again marries with the outfit in a very lovely manner. It's got that gorgeous, what's the name of this color? And it's obviously not gold because my Birkin's gold, and you can see this one's a little bit lighter. It's a light shade from Hermes that I thought would marry very nicely with this hat from Maison Lorette. And then once again, the ecru band in there, which marries with the outfit. This is as luxe as it gets for a summer hat. It's made in a Toyo material, which is quite a rare material, something very hard to find and not easy to work with. I'm very pleased that they managed to create a piece like this for me. And then to add that extra touch of I can take care of myself, I opted for one of my hats that's got the relevé style on the back, which is something that's actually borrowed from the menswear department. However, in most of my summer hats, I love to have that relevé going up in the back, and I think it just adds the little extra kick to an outfit. The bag of choice was this mini one by Longchamp, which color-wise pulls the look together, and the little details in yellow gold on the bag marry with the rest of the accessories and jewelry on the look. Because we're thinking mob wife goes to the south of France, I decided to add a little bit of extra bling on the earring department with this pair of pavé covered crystal earrings. These ones are a pair that add quite a bit of light to the face if the right circumstances come together. Right place, right time. It needs to be a certain city. It needs to be a certain restaurant. These are a pair that I pull out a couple of times during summertime. To marry with the whole extra bling on the look, I went for this ring right here, which is actually a ring I received as my 30th birthday present. However, because it's the mob wife, wifey being part of the aesthetic, instead of wearing it in the middle finger, which is where I normally would wear it, I added it on my fiancé ring. Talking about rings, I actually changed my nail polish for this look because I thought it would marry very nicely with this lipstick by Chanel. It's the perfect mob wife nail polish. It's all in the details. It's all in the details. Another thing I added on top of that was this classic beige blazer with just a one button, something really, really simple. I wanted a minimal piece that would add just an oversized look to the whole outfit, break a little bit that kind of total ecru, and while remaining on those shades, still add a little bit more dimension and just something a little bit more interesting to the whole look. The sunnies on this occasion came out to play as well, however they were on the cleavage. And now for the final look I put together on this mauve wife aesthetic, I went for something that would start off with an exotic skin. So not a real exotic skin, but just a print of an exotic skin. This is a 100% silk shirt from the Couple. A piece like this already adds texture, dimension, a little bit of flowiness to the outfit, and that extra kind of like touch that we're after in that mauve wife aesthetic. I could have styled this with a pair of shorts and worn it during the summer, and then the silk would have kept me cool. But during winter time, it's thermoregulator, meaning it's a fabric that's going to keep me warm during winter time as well. And a lot of the times we have a silk shirt laying around on our wardrobe and we don't really think of wearing it as a piece for all year round. Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. Silk is one of my absolute favorite fabrics. It's thermoregulator. It marries very well with a lot of pieces. To continue on that kind of like texture vibe that I was after, I picked this pair of trousers from Massimo Dutti. Now these ones have a little bit more of a texture going on, and once again there's that type of vintage vibe from the wide leg on them, but the type of fabric itself, it's going to be something that's quite vintage calling, I would say. It kind of makes me think of that 70s show, which once again marries very nicely with this type of 70s inspired sunnies. At this point the necklace from Lanvin was stealing the show with all the looks, so I did keep it for this particular look as well. I kept all the rings to marry with that whole vibe of more is more. And then for booties on this occasion, I picked something with a slimmer heel. I feel like the trousers were already quite heavy. Initially wanted to add a little bit more texture and go with these ones from Amuse. However, I noticed that a heel with something a little bit thinner than this one would marry and pull the outfit together in a nicer way. And so I picked these ones, which are from Michael Kors collection from forever and ever ago. They're in brown leather and they have a little tiny detail of yellow gold. In case I'm sitting down and the pants pull up, you do have to think about the details. That way we have a little bit of gold going on down there, married with the rest of the gold that we have in the rest of the outfit. Different textures, same exact color. We've got this brown bag from Gucci once again. And I think it just adds to a little bit of more nonchalant vibe of this type of mauve wife aesthetic that I created on this fourth look. The earrings were the Chanel earrings. These ones are vintage clip-ons from the 90s or late 80s actually. Regarding the makeup, I did keep it quite minimal. I didn't add any sort of shimmer to the eyes, just a little bit of eye contouring, which you will see on the next vlog actually, because getting my makeup done today was part of the vlog that's coming out on Sunday. So do stay tuned for that one if you want to see me using all of that new Chanel makeup. I used the new Chanel Attraction lipstick, which marries very, very nicely with this nail polish from My Lee. The nail polish color is called Diva. Ties in very nicely with the mauve wife aesthetic. And then for the rest of the face, I kept it very minimal, just a little bit of highlighter, but for the most part, it was just like dewy and blending into itself. I hope I give you a couple of ideas to try out this trend at home. I'm not one to follow the trends in the sense that if something is in trend, I'll go immediately purchase it. However, I do like the idea of jumping on the train wagon from time to time and playing around with styling with things that they were all already on my closet. Some of them for years, some of them a little bit more recent, but nothing was purchased for this video. It was just something that even if I'm not normally dressed in the mauve wife aesthetic, I still think that you can pull off different trends and pull off and play around with different tendencies and kind of like dress up with things that sometimes we may already have at home. All right, you guys, so that was it for this video. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, don't forget to tell me what was your favorite look on the comments down below. And if you're not done watching, I'll leave you 2 more videos in here so you can binge a little bit more. Remember to enter the giveaway and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!